Good evening, world. It is time once again to fulfill our American destiny and try to get the Sunset Invasion in Europa Universalis 4. I'm your painter and decorator DDR Jake, and we're going to hop right back into it. It's been a while since I've touched this. I need to remind myself what's going on. I believe we gave England a solid beating. We released Wales and gave them quite a bit of land. The idea being to try to separate London from the rest of their provinces so we can take it. It's going to be the guts of 7 years before we get a core on Wessex, and during that time these mercenaries are taking pretty heavy attrition. But I don't really care about that because it doesn't eat manpower, and I don't get war exhaustion from it because we're at peace. So they can sit there and burn for a while. As a reminder, for the Sunset Invasion achievement, we need the provinces of Lisboa, Madrid, Roma, Ile de Frogs, Holland, and London. So far we have only Madrid and Rome. Lisboa is next on the cards. It has been suitably isolated. We should be able to take it in the next war. We still have a truce, and they have alliances with Great Britain and Castile, which shouldn't be too much of a problem. Portugal is the only member of the coalition against me. I'm surprised Great Britain didn't join in. Of course, they're hostile towards me. Hostile nations tend not to join. Good evening, Revac. Nice to have you with us. Ah, yes. I ended the war, so I'm going to be bleeding money for a while because I don't get my cheap-ass war subsidies from my colonial nation. I'll rectify that with another war shortly. With that in mind, maybe I should sort out my burning mercenaries here. And leave behind 50 regiments or so. Not entirely sure where the rest of these guys should go. I have military access to France, so I'll just ditch them there. Hello, Labernuma. I'm gonna spread out my troops so they hopefully won't take much attrition here. I'm fabricating a claim on Great Britain to give me another casus belli on them. Thinking more long term here. I'd probably take Kent for myself. Give Essex to Wales, and then I can take London proper. It's dangerous only having a couple provinces in one area because it stops me from being able to spread out my troops. If I bundle them all in one place, they're going to burn up from attrition. This guy's an ideal one to have fake wars against. Ah. reformed. I was trying to figure out why would this province revolt. Lo and behold, I don't have much of an army around here. You guys can deal with it. I'm always trying to make sure I'm recruiting lots of mercenaries, despite them being horrifically expensive. Money isn't really much of an object. It'll be a long time before Quetzalcoatl Finance decides to revolt unless they get some specific events. Overextension, not much of an issue. Although it's going to be a long time before Wessex cores. I don't think we even had a claim on it. No, we just took it outright. Our next port of call will be taking Lisboa. With that in mind, I should definitely fabricate a claim on it. It's going to be 11 base tax, but thankfully Roma's just about to core. It won't push us over the overextension boundary of 100%, which is something I cannot tolerate. Not for any large amount of time. As I've said before, if I were to take this slow and steady, this would be no problem, but I'm trying to get this done as fast as possible. This game is all about ugly borders, and I can't be doing with any of that. I want to get this achievement and then burn this save file. Gonna recall my navy so I can pick up some more mercenaries from America. You cannot recruit mercenaries in overseas provinces, so in Europe all I can do is recruit regular troops. Considering I've hit my manpower cap, wouldn't be a bad idea. But it does take a very long time to recruit troops. So. Good. We've got a Casus Belli in Great Britain. We don't care at all about their allies because we can pay them off, except for Portugal. I need to consider that quite delicately. On the one hand, I want Lisboa. On the other hand, I need to make headway with Great Britain. As soon as I've got London on its own, I can focus my efforts entirely on the mainland, by which I mean taking Holland and Ile de Frogs. It is such a bummer that the Papal State re-emerged. If they're not around, then I don't have to fulfill the criteria of Papal State relations when excommunicating other Catholics. Since the excommunicated Casus Belli is really good, it's something I would love to take advantage of. generally the only people you can do that to are the Papal States' rivals. Tuscany, Berry, and Würzburg. Can't even do it to Tuscany. Could do it to Würzburg, but I mean, what's the point? I think that Casus Belli only works on people that you border, so I'd only really want it on France or Holland. And only France is even Catholic. And I want to be on good terms with France. They really helped me against the Iberians. Okay. Got our cause for war. Fight them to keep the war going and get the war subsidies on the go. Good, we've got all our claims now. Even better. That nationalism should go away at the end of the turn of the month. Perfect. So how are we going to deal with Portugal anyway? They're going to call in Great Britain. I'd ideally like to get them... what do they want? Yeah, you can keep him. Ideally, I'd want to fight Great Britain and Portugal in separate wars so I can take all I want from either of them, but obviously that's not going to be the case. Oh! Well, that isn't good. I'd sold that to Aragon in order to take Lisboa on my own. That is not good at all. Aragon will cede that to Portugal. Damn. Okay, well I'm going to have to give that back to Aragon. I cannot be having that. I need to get Lisboa on its own, which means it needs to be separated from all its other provinces. That is a real pain. What to do then? It's a shame Wales don't like me. They just instantly rivaled me. If I had military access to them, I could help them with that siege, but they don't want any of that, it seems. What a pain. What a pain. Alright, my truce with Portugal will be up soon. I will nail them into the ground. They're now allied with Aragon. This is making less and less sense. This is Iron Man Rainbow Flowers. And the only way I really enjoy playing. I like the idea of, you know, things happen, deal with it. Right, I want pretty much a full quota of free diplomats when I start this war. What is more, I should have my troops shipped back over to Great Britain. Where are my ships? All aboard, boys. We are still pissing money, but not too badly. It's the inflation that's the real problem. Oh well. Let's hope the war leader doesn't change. That would be a ball ache. Take Lisboa. France, help us out here, buddy. Now who joins in? Aside from everyone. Aragon and friends, Castile and friends. No Great Britain. Why is there no Great Britain? Well, let's not worry too much about that. First off, let's get Aragon out of the war. What a pushover. Same for Castile. We don't need anything from these guys, so I'm happy to just pay them off. It's just money. Which leaves me just against Portugal and Portuguese colonial territories. Oh, perfect. I've never seen this before. Our state is under pressure, but it is time to show our resilience in the face of adversity. It is time for boys to step up and become men, for men to show the world that they are made of. Together we can go forward. It is time. Really, what is that from? Maybe it's tied to administrative ideas. I don't normally take them. You are worse than China. Thank you. You really know how to compliment a guy. Any enemy can be paid off. There is no limit on it. None at all. This really bothers me. I wish these attached to unit things were off by default. I think they're meant to be in the next next patch. Oh, jeez. I really don't want these provinces to defect from Wales. The whole idea was to give this to Wales so that they would well, the most important thing is for Wales to take Essex and to keep a hold of it, unlike what happened to this province here when Aragon gave it back to Portugal. What a pain. Yeah, 1,000,000 ducats makes everything easier. Money can't buy everything, but it can sure grease the wheels. If I don't keep my war subsidies going, though, I won't be able to keep all that money forever. This is bad. I do not want those defecting. Cannot wait for this this campaign to be over. It has not been enjoyable, not by a long shot. The only particularly enjoyable part was fighting Aragon. Ciao, Fane. Would you get it together, Wales? Don't think these guys know what they're doing. Yeah, no matter what I do, I'm not going to be able to get Lisboa in this war, I don't think. But I can keep this war going long enough to fight England on their own. Wales weren't able to core marches, but I suppose they don't really need to. As long as they core Oxfordshire, which they managed to, I can still gift them Essex. I gift them Essex, I keep Kent for myself, and then the next war I take London. And then I can be done with the British Isles. Yeah, that's really annoying about the North Americans. They can tech up a huge amount at the click of a button, but they don't give it to any of the other Americans. What is more, these North Americans, they don't get the points penalty, whereas the Mesoamericans and the South Americans, they still get -2 to all of their monarch points every month until they westernize, which is fairly brutal. Please, Wales, just give in to demands. Not even sure if it's worth prolonging this war, since I cannot take Lisboa. Once I start the war with Great Britain, I will peace out with Portugal.